Hello. Hey, y'all. Hello. It's Sunday. It is midnight here in Spain, and I am wide awake. I actually took a nap today. So let's see how the internet is going to be with me today because I'm getting like some kind of weird thing that's saying that, oh, it says the connection is fairly good. Fingers crossed. Okay. Anyways, okay, so I'm actually doing something a little different today. So I'm going to give a few seconds before we get started, but I'm going to try and see if I can also record off from my phone. We'll see. I don't know because sometimes the internet wants to be weird, um, and my laptop wants to be weird, and it's not the best. But anyways, welcome y'all. Hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Sunday afternoon in Houston, Texas, or Central Standard Time, if that's where you're watching from, most likely. Because if you're up right now watching me from Spain at midnight, kudos to you. But usually it's people back in the US that are actually watching this at this time of day. Okay. Just a second. Let me see if I'm going to be able to record myself or if it's going to give some crazy feedback. We shall see. Dun, dun. And ugh, I'm looking at myself on my phone right now. Nope, I don't think I want to do that. Nope, I don't want to do it. I changed my mind. I'm just going to keep facing this way. Okay, because that's too distracting. Yeah, I'm too vain and I'll just keep looking at myself sideways trying to figure out if I look okay. So we're not doing all that. Okay, never mind. But I am going to put my phone on do not disturb so nobody reaches out to me in the middle of this. And do not disturb. Okay, and we're ready. All right. So please do share who's here this evening to hang out with me. I have a great topic because I'm actually doing my 1 year. I should have done my 1 year anniversary conversation 2 months ago, but I was traveling and then I took May off. So we're doing it now. It doesn't matter. It's still been over a year now. So I still got a lot to share. Anyways, who am I? Why are you guys seeing me right now? Well, I am Yolanda. I am locating cozy. I'm loading cozy. I am locating cozy, and this is a broad chat. Yes, where we talk about everything. I share my experiences of being a mover and shaker in the world and just doing amazing things like moving to Spain a year ago. I moved to Spain a year ago, and it's been crazy cool and just a different experience that I have no complaints about. I thank God every day that I have made that decision, and I hope that I am inspiring others to make bold decisions in their life, whether they want to move to another country or leave that horrible job or leave that bad relationship, no matter what type of relationship it is. That's what I hope that I'm inspiring you to do. Anyways, let's see. Oh, hey, girl. Hey. Hello, Aileen. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you joining me and hanging out with me. And okay, so here's the crazy thing. Last Sunday when I did my first live in like probably like what 3 weeks or a month, I had written out a whole script of what I was going to talk about because I know I go squirrel. I go squirrel. I'll be like, oh, I'll forget what I'm talking about. And so I'd actually written out what I was going to be talking about. And I went live and completely forgot to look at my outline as far as what I was supposed to be talking about. So I felt out of sorts because I was just kind of going rogue and just talking about whatever I felt like. I mean, I stayed on point to a point, but yeah, I was like, I feel lost if I don't have my outline of what I need to talk about because I will be all over. So, with that being said, I am going to stay on point tonight. Wish us luck. Um, and if I don't, it doesn't matter. It's my freaking live. It's my vlog. So yeah, we'll go with it. But yes, I do definitely want to share, what my experiences have been here after living in Spain for a year, and just things that I didn't know, things that I've become accustomed to, things that I have embraced, things that I've learned. And yeah, just wanted to impart some wisdom and share my experience. But before we get started, I like to kick off with a few things like what's going on in my world. So, the crazy, well, haha, funny, odd thing that happened to today was I just updated my pet sitting through Trusted House Sitters. I just updated that because I have some goal places that I want to pet sit in or find accommodations in over the next few months. And one is that I'm planning to go to Spain. Let's try that again. I'm planning to go to France. And so I just wanted to try to see if I could find some pet sits in that area, the areas that I want to go to. And so I'm excited about that. And then I also updated because I know I'm planning on going to Portugal, back to Portugal for the Black Sit Global 5th anniversary in late October. So I've been looking at the pet sits possibilities there. Anyways, I updated my profile to reflect my specific wants and needs and how awesome I am. And yeah, my very first pet sit, the very first pet sit that I did back in Texas, they reached out to me. The owners reached out to me uh, just like maybe an hour ago, and they were like, "So hey, we're going to be traveling in a certain range of time, blah blah blah, and we would love for you to come back and take care of Bellamy." Bellamy was the very first pet sit that I ever did, and I'm like, I don't live in the country anymore. But I did let them know. That was just really such a cool feeling that they were like, "Yes, let's get Yolanda back." Yeah, 2.5 years later, they, were still trying to get me to come back and take care of them. And if I was back in the States or if I was still in Houston, I would. Um, but I'm not, so I'm going to be referring that out to some of the ladies in my community to see if they are interested in taking on this wonderful pet sit in Houston if they want to do some things sometime next month. Anyways, no, just don't reach out to me. Be like, I'll do it because I gotta halfway know you. So if you're not in my pet sitting community, yeah, we're not doing test cases with with a client that trusts me. That's not happening. So, but anyways, I am going to be reaching out to the within the community that I belong to see. But that was just such a great feeling, yes. But I will say this: if you are interested in pet sitting and you need some you want to join the Trusted House Sitters, I still have my promo code. Yes. Uh-oh. There it is. Yeah. I still got my promo code. So you can use that, and I think that gets you 30% off, 25 or 30% off. I can't remember which one it is. It's either 25 or 30% off. But anyways, here's the discount code. Yes, and I get some free stuff on the back end. Doesn't cost you anything. But yeah. Anyways, yes. I realized that last weekend I talked about my last live. I talked about my whole pet sitting experience and never flashed my promo code. Although yeah, last weekend probably when I shared my experience in Valencia, that may have scared some people. So, okay. Anyways, but yeah, there's the promo code if you're interested in becoming a pet sitter or if you're in need of a pet sitter. Go to Trusted House Sitters, get that discount. And you pay for the annual membership and have access to people around the world. Like I said, I'm literally looking for a pet sit or a house sit in France and in Lisbon, in certain parts of France. Yeah, I'll just say certain parts of France and in Lisbon right now, Lisbon, Portugal. So, yeah, that way I can take care of somebody's home and their pets, and I don't have to worry about paying for a hotel or an Airbnb. Bonus. Anyways, of course, the other thing that I like to ask, and I want you to ask yourself, tell me, please, what are you doing? How are you locating your cozy? What are you doing that's just about you, that's bringing you joy, that makes you happy, that, it could be your own wonderful, selfish reasons? That's fine. What are you doing? Please do share that in the comments. Whether you're watching it now live or if you're watching the replay later on, please do. Yeah, share in the comments. What have you done that's just about you this week? Now, I've been doing something, and it sounds like it's for somebody else, but it's actually for me because I really thoroughly enjoy doing this. I did it last weekend, and then this yesterday I did it again. Um, I've been, I talked to my friends or family back home, and some of them, not everybody's coming to Spain to visit me. So I actually on WhatsApp I do video chat, and I've been walking through Zaragoza, just walking through my neighborhood, walking through Zaragoza. So yesterday I literally was on a WhatsApp video chat with one of my besties back in Houston, and we talked for like a good hour and a half, almost 2 hours as I walked, and I literally walked probably total. I think I walked about almost 5 miles because I was going to the farmers market here in Zaragoza, and I called. Well, first I called my one of my daughters back in the States, and I was like, "Hey," but she was busy. 'Cause, yeah, my Cali daughter, yeah, she's like 9 hours behind. So, anyways, it was easy to call her at 9 in the morning my time because I knew she was up, but she was busy. Anyways, I ended up talking to one of my best friends for like, yeah, and almost 2 hours. And I was just showing video chatting, just showing her all of Zaragoza. I mean, from the time I like 2 blocks away from where I lived all the way down to the cathedral. I went to the Ebro River. I went to the farmers market. I went to Mercado Central. Just showing her all the side streets. It was really a lot of fun to do that. And it just made me feel really, really good to, just to, showcase. The thing was, my friend, she had originally had goals to come and visit me in April. That was, fingers crossed, the goal that she was supposed to do. But, life said, not this time, not yet. So yeah, it was just really nice to do that. And it was just such a, nice pretty morning yesterday as we were walking as I was walking through town with her. And I actually did this with a family member last Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, we were talking, and it was just really nice. By the time I got back from walking, before I knew it, like I said, I had walked 5 miles, and I was like, oh wow, it didn't feel like anything. And my friend was like, aren't you tired? And I was like, well, you need to go. She's like, no, but I feel like you've been walking forever. Yes, I have. It was just a great way to get some exercise in and just showcase the nice little city that I live in. So yeah, that was really cool. So let's see. Oh, I got people coming in. Hey, how are you locating your cozy? Uh oh, okay. Somebody said something about a hamster. I'll go back to that. Let's see. Aileen said, I colored my hair copper, which I'm considering my summer color, and I'm decluttering a lot from my basement for a neighborhood garage sale next week. Okay. Yeah, you're doing a lot. Impressive. Yes. You know, okay. I I've never colored my hair, but then I have all kinds of options. But yeah, decluttering is something that you can do that it feels good when you've done. Sometimes it's hard to get started. It's hard to jumpstart decluttering. But once you get started and like lean into it all the way, it feels really, really great to get it done, to see it done. Just, some things just around the house that just needs to get done and you may have just put it off forever. But then once you do it, it's just like this whole it's like a little weight has been lifted off and you feel like so accomplished. So I get it. I get that completely. And then Pie Management says, I'm crafting and vending for my small business so that I can black it and come see you in Spain. You better make it happen. Hey. And then on to Tenerife, then Portugal and Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm ready to begin scouting. Oh, wow, girl. It's never too late. This so falls in line with the conversation this evening. Yes. That's great. Yes, whatever you're doing to locate your cozy, to find that piece, that's something that just gets you going. And again, when you're thinking about how am I locating my cozy, it does not have to be like some big, big thing like that just moves mountains. It can be whatever it is that brings you joy. Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, my joy was walking through Zaragoza yesterday and talking to my friend. That was really awesome. Hey girl, you know who you are. Okay. Um, I like this. She says, Aileen says it's much easier since my kids don't want any of the stuff they left behind. Yeah, you do have to. That was a conversation. Yeah, that was a conversation. I'll just say that when I was like getting rid of a lot of stuff, and I didn't think about it wasn't intentional, but there was just some things that I just didn't think about when I almost threw away some important documents that I didn't know that one of my kids had wanted, and I didn't realize that some of her important documents were mixed in with my stuff that I was throwing out. Anyways, thank goodness I thought I had threw them out and they were still in my house, just like sitting there. But anyways, yeah, you have to really consider the things. So I still have, I think, I had storage, and finally my oldest daughter went to my storage because I just had a few things in there, and now they're in her garage. But my youngest daughter still had the little box, like her cheerleading shirt from when, or her drill shirt from when she was like, I don't know, 12 years old, and things like that, like her first little arts and craft, like the etching on the glass, all that. I still have a small box because, she's not bringing it to Spain, and I just haven't gotten rid of it yet, or haven't done anything with it yet. But yeah, those cool little keepsakes that whenever I do open it, every few years I'll open it and I'll be like, oh, that's so cool. And then also I'm like, I see it every few years. I have a sentimental moment, and we need to pack this stuff up, bring it over here to Spain so she can have it for herself. Because why? Why do I still have it? I've had all my oohs and ahs. I think I'm done until I come back maybe to visit, and then I open the box again, and then I get sentimental, and I'll be like, I'm so glad I didn't get rid of it. But for the most part, I got rid of everything. I have like maybe 5 small boxes and like some paintings that's now in my oldest daughter's garage. So I'm thankful for that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Just a second. She said I'm making a peach cobbler. I was like, oh, let's talk. Okay. I ordered a box of peaches from Georgia, and they're really sweet. And I'm making 2 cobblers, one for me and one for my grandson. Oh, I'm having FOMO right now. I yeah, I yeah. Just saying that. I'm like, I want to be back in the States just for that. Can I make it here? Absolutely, but I'm having FOMO right now. I have actually been making a blueberry crumble. I'm trying to step away from the ice cream here because it's really good. But I've really gotten into Greek yogurt, and I put like maybe like a quarter teaspoon of condensed milk and some vanilla, and then I take some to make just like a little sweeten. I sweeten my own yogurt, and then but I got some blueberries, and I'll like put a little sugar on them, lay them in the pan, and then I'll make like a oatmeal crumble, and I put that on top, and then I bake it for like 30 minutes, and then I'd like eat that with my yogurt, my sweetened yogurt, and it's really really good. Um, it's not as good as just some good old uh, a pie, but it's in my mind, I'm like, it's a healthier version. It's really good though, unless you eat too much of it, and then you might as well just go ahead and break out the real ice cream and pie. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Anyways, so all right, so let's talk. Let's talk about. Let me see here. Let me get rid of this. Dun, dun, dun. Let us talk about things that I have learned since moving here a year ago. 1 year and 2 months ago, I left the States, and I have been here in Spain, and just thoroughly, thoroughly enjoying myself. Um, People are like, "Oh, you're just doing so much." No, I'm just here living. I really am here living. I'm not bopping. Some people leave the country and they want to go and bop around. They leave their home country and they want to go bop around the world, and that's great. That's not my mission. I enjoy going to the ability to go other places. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not bopping. So I'm not like doing like, 3 months in one country and 6 months in another. I'm not doing that. I have a home here, and I enjoy, after a year and a half of full-time pet sitting and no place to call my own, I am thoroughly enjoying being here in Spain and having my own home, and having my granddaughter come over every few weeks and hang out with me, and building community here. So I really do enjoy that. Oh yeah, by the way, If you have not, please do like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will know whenever I have something really amazing and insightful to share with you. Okay? Okay. Also, I realized that I have not been promoting my Facebook group, Black in Zaragoza. What am I doing? Hello. Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested, I actually have a young lady that's going to be who reached out to me, who's actually going to be relocating in the next, I'll just say in the next 30 days or so. She's relocating here and connected with me, and I'm so excited for her to be coming here. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. So again, I'm not putting her business out there. I'm just excited that she's coming. Okay. So, okay, let's go down the list of the things that I have come to realize or things that I feel like should be mentioned as you consider moving to that I've experienced living in Spain or that I've come to realize while living in Spain. But I think that you can take this can maybe be a universal insight, no matter if you're moving to somewhere in Europe or other parts of the world. Okay. But here we go. So, don't expect huge store selections. Um, when we are in the States, we can go and see like a whole aisle of cereal. You have like, I don't know, 30 options minimum of cereals, or, 10 different types of hot dogs or whatever it is. Um, that is not the case here. Case in point, yesterday, I needed to get some more batteries. I needed some double A's and some triple A's. So I'm used to when I go to like a whatever insert grocery store here, or big box store, that they have like a whole section of batteries galore. And I went to the Mercadona, was it yesterday or Friday that I went, and the I had asked the lady in another department. I said, where the batteries. Yeah. Anyways, where the batteries at? And she said they were by the caja, which is the cashier. Anyways, um, and so I go up to the cashier and I'm looking at the cash register. I'm like, where is it? Because I'm looking for this big display of batteries. And so I go to the cashier and I'm asking her where the batteries at, in my really, really good Spanish. And she's like pointing and I'm looking and stuff. So finally she just walks over and it's like this little section of like there's one brand. It's their brand, that's it. But it's just this section of like maybe 8 packs of batteries, but it was like triple A, double A. That was it. If you needed to get anything else, I would need it to go to like maybe like here they have the Keta for it's like a Target or Walmart, which I will talk about that in a little bit. But the bottom line is just know that you are not going to have they have nice selections, don't get me wrong. They have the grocery stores are really, they have great grocery stores here. But if you're looking for a huge selection of 15 types of peanut butter, that's not a thing here. You have uh they have their brands, that's it. And they might have they might have maybe two brands of something for the most part, but it's not like a big selection. Except it seems like they have a huge selection of all types of yogurt in certain grocery stores. They have, yeah, they have a big selection of yogurt. They have a pretty good selection of like their deli meats. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah. Although I'm still fiending for like beef bologna or beef hot dogs. That's not a thing here. I wish. I don't like pork or turkey or chicken bologna or hot dogs, but I digress. Anyways, but yeah, just know that there's not a huge selection of certain items. Sometimes it's just you get what you get, and that's just it. Um, and I don't know why, because I think like like sometimes like the cookie section, that might be it. There's a decent selection, but it's nothing like what you would see in the U.S. Just not happening. That's one. So also around Zaragoza, and I know that they have it in other parts of in other neighborhoods. I don't know so much if it's happening in like Madrid. I feel like it probably is. I just didn't notice. But I know at least in Zaragoza, they have at the parks, they have exercise equipment for like maybe the elderly. Um, and it's pretty cool. It's like, you have like the stationary bikes. They just have this area where like the elderly, I mean, it doesn't have to be elderly, but actually, I think it does say that when you go and look at the signs there and stuff, it kind of like it's promoting the elderly to get out and do some kind of exercise or cardio. And so they have like the little hand machines and they have the stationary bikes and they have like this whole cycle of machines that people can get on to kind of get their circulation going. And I think that that's pretty cool. Again, I don't know if they have that in the bigger cities, but I definitely noticed it here in Zaragoza. In Zaragoza, the population is like almost 800,000 now. So that's pretty cool. My daughter laughs at me about this one. The one thing, and also just, oh, I'm sorry, back up. If you have any questions, please do QQQ and then write your question out so I can be on the lookout because I would love to answer any questions that you might have. That's why I go live. And if you're not watching it live and you have it's on the replay, post your question in the comments and I will get back to you. I'm actually pretty good about replying to comments. Okay. So another thing that I've noticed, and my daughter laughs about this, but people are so nice and helpful. Overall, and I know that not everybody has had the same experience that I have had, but overall, I have had such a great experience with people being so nice to me here. I may not know everything that they're saying, but overall, I have had the best reception possible. Case in point. My daughter's like, I've never had that. And she's been here for 8 years. She's like, I have not experienced the same thing that you've experienced. I'm like, I'm taking it. I'm taking it as a win. I had to get some clothes altered because the clothes here sometimes don't like how they don't fit right. So I usually have to get a size too big and then maybe go to the seamstress to get it altered. And the lady, I can't remember her name now, but I go to the seamstress, I get everything, checked out, and measured, and I come back a week later to get my pants. And she just like, as I'm leaving, I'm like, hasta luego. And she's just like comes and gives me a hug and kisses me on, does the European French kiss, or excuse me, the Spanish kiss on both sides, the air kisses. And I'm just like, oh, okay, we're hugging, we're doing kisses now. Okay. I wasn't expecting it because I was just picking up some pants that I had altered. That's it. But that's how they roll. Well, that's been my experience. Another one was Friday. I went to the local mercado because like they have the grocery stores, but I also like to go to like the place to get some. I like to go and get my fruit or my meats or whatever from the local vendors here. The local vendors. Yeah. Anyways, I go to get some chicken, and I walk up, and there's like three ladies in front of me, and then there's a lady that comes up behind me, and you always have to ask who was the last person. If there seems to be a lot of people, you always ask in Spanish. I can't remember how you ask it, but I know to go on my phone and look to ask this question. Basically, who's the last person, so you can make sure that you can identify that you're next. So the lady comes up in Spanish and asks, but I mistakenly said I said out loud, which I need to do better. I was saying that the person who was the person in front of me, that's what I was doing. And of course, they didn't understand what I was saying. Anyways, I tell them in Spanish that my español, mi español es muy mal. It's really bad. And anyways, we're sitting down. It's hot. One of the ladies or two of the ladies have their fan. When it's hot out, you need to always have a fan with you. Always have a fan with you. A fan that you can just kind of fan yourself. But I forgot mine's at home. Anyways, I'm sitting down, and the lady next to me is fanning herself, and then she starts fanning me, and I'm like, oh, well, thank you, gracias, but I don't. You don't have to do that. So she's like, oh, you're like, no. So she fans herself and then she fans me again. And I'm texting my daughter. I'm like, I'm literally sitting up here waiting to get some chicken thighs and this lady is fanning me. Okay. I wasn't sick. I didn't look ill or anything. She was just taking care of me, making sure that I was as cool as possible. And that was just so nice. I've had these things, these little pockets of things happen to me, and you just have to, because I'm not gonna lie, had I been in the States, I'd probably been like, what are you doing? Stop fanning me. I, my my defense would have been up. I would have been on guard if somebody would have just started like, do I look like I'm about to pass out? What's happening here? Why are you fanning me? But here, I just kind of embrace it. Like they are genuinely just being nice and just want to make sure that I'm okay. And if I look like I'm sweating, they're like, we're gonna fan you. So yeah, I I appreciate it. It's a different vibe, and my I have learning to let my guard down. Yeah, letting your guard down, that's another thing. Let your guard down. This is not on my list, but I want to say letting your guard down is very important because we can bring that baggage or that tension that we have experienced, that protective coating. We can have that with us and not know how to let it go when we are in other countries. And sometimes in other countries, they're not trying to get over on you. They're just genuinely being nice. And sometimes we just don't know how to handle that. So, uh, let's see. Okay. Uh, oh, okay. I wanted to bring this up just to put it out here. Everybody again has their own experiences, but this is what I've learned. Somebody had posted within one of my other groups that I belong to, one of the other communities that I belong to. It was like, other like somebody coming to another country. I don't know if it was Spain or where, but anyways, they had posted a question. They were looking for an apartment or for a flat. They had reached out to somebody here, I believe it was here in Spain, that had an apartment for rent. And they had just reached out and said, how much is the rent? And the person said, and the person that owned the property said, tell me about yourself. And the person that was looking for the apartment said, can you just tell me how much the rent is? And the person said that was owning the apartment said, if you don't want to tell me about yourself, good luck. So here's the thing. The person that was looking for the apartment wasn't trying to be rude, wasn't being rude. Um, and the person that actually had the apartment wasn't being rude. But the thing is this, here in, especially right now in Spain, I can't speak for other parts of the world, but I know right here in Spain, it's the renters market, the owner's market right now. So what happens is if you are looking for an apartment, it is best that you do an introduction. Call it, call it your dating profile for seeking an apartment. But I feel from what I've seen is it's best to do an intro of who you are, where you're from, how long you'll be here, maybe what you do. It may seem a little overwhelming, like why they got to know all that? How come they just can't tell me how much the rent is and keep it moving? Just let me know so I'll know if I can afford the place. I get that. I really do. But also, it just seems like from what I've experienced, if you lead with hi with an introduction of who you are, it speaks to them and they will really consider you. Because what will happen is usually is this, if you tend to just reach out and be like, how much is the rent? You might get a response. You may. But if you lead with your intent, it is more likely to catch the owner's attention. I liken it to, and I've never bought a house. I've never bought a house, but I know like sometimes if there's like a major bidding war for a property that somebody wants to buy, and the owners are like, I this is just going crazy, but it has to end soon. I have to make a decision. Sometimes a realtor will tell you, write a personal letter to the owner about you, about your family, touch them, tug at the heartstrings, touch them, and let them know that you're a good person. So when you're trying to find an apartment, like if on here in Spain, a lot of places they go through they post their listings of their property on Idealista, and I have a whole profile on Idealista, even though I'm not planning on moving now for I don't want to move, not for a while. But on Idealista, I do have a profile. And when I reach out, when I was first looking to see about possibly moving from here, whenever I would reach out to an owner, or if I would see a property, I would do a little, maybe 5 sentences that just says, again, who I am. Hi, I'm Yolanda. I've lived here for a year. I work remote. I've, been, this is my, well, I don't usually say what I don't say what my income is, but I just tell them like I work in accounting. I have family here, whatever it is, to kind of get their attention and let them know that I'm a human being and I'm not here for just like 2 weeks or whatever it is, um, maybe you're here for 6 months, whatever it is that can possibly get their attention. So just know that don't I would just suggest that don't necessarily take it personally just because somebody, the person is listing the apartment asked you about yourself. They're not psycho. They're not trying to get over on you. They just want to know that you're not somebody that's going to be a fly by night or something like that. Okay, they want to know you. It's a dating profile for apartments. Does that make sense? Yeah. Let's see. Let's check out some questions or statements. And Jesse A says, can you compare Zaragoza to Valencia? There is no comparison. Very, very different. Very different. So I'm going to be honest. I love Valencia. It's really, really cool. Valencia is a place where they speak a lot more English than they do in Zaragoza. Valencia also, I'm sure that there's a touristy area. I did not, because it's right along the coast. I feel like Valencia is just well populated and has lots of wonderful places all around. And I did not, or maybe I just wasn't seeking out the actual tourist area. But yeah, wonderful neighborhoods and food options and cocktail bars, little speakeasies all over the place. And yeah, I thoroughly loved Valencia and I look forward to going back there again really soon. I'm going to be looking for another pet sit so I can head on back down there and maybe stay for a week or two. But yeah, it's great. Zaragoza is my home. It's just so perfectly located. The population, I know, you were just saying you were like 800,000 people. Yeah, that's good size. I don't quite think it's hit 800,000 yet, but I want to say it's like at 784,000. I could be lying. I don't know. I could be making this number up. I don't think I am though. Yeah, I don't think I am. I think that's about right. But yeah, it's you, you know when you come to any place, wherever you are, um, you feel it. You kind of sometimes you feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is it right here. That's how I feel about Zaragoza. My friend yesterday was asking me. She was like, "So, after your visa is up here in Zaragoza or in Spain, where are you going to go next?" I was like, Zaragoza, Spain. I mean, I, for all intents and purposes, this is my home base now. I don't have any plans beyond that. Will I go someplace else maybe and stay for 6 months? Maybe. Uh, yeah, maybe. But overall, I feel like this Spain is my home base now. Unless they kick me out, kicking and screaming, I'll be going kicking and screaming. Uh, but yeah, Spain is home. Um, Zaragoza is it for me. I wouldn't, as I think about it, I would not be opposed to like hanging out in Valencia for an extended amount of time. But also, I love Madrid. So I think that I will be keeping Zaragoza as my home base. And then again, if I decide to go someplace, or maybe if somebody, says I need a pet sitter for 3 months in Valencia, I might take them up on that and be like, deuces, I'm out. Yeah, we'll see. Uh, let's see here. Uh, yeah. Aileen says, I actually like that to make sure that you're a good fit. Yeah, for being their tenant and them being your landlord. Yes, absolutely. You know, I think about, again, I know I lucked out with this place. I know. if y'all know my story, you know that I started looking for an apartment before I even moved here. And so I had built this connection with this with the landlord, and I was able to get this place. And as I've been looking, I was looking to possibly move because after 6 months here, my lease says that I can move as long as I give 30 days notice. And I was looking, but again, I have gotten into all the little things that idiosyncrasies, yeah, I think that's the word, that bugs me about this place. Like I hate the small elevator. All these little things. Or sometimes the neighbors get on my nerves. You can hear them through the thin walls. But also, I don't want to mess around and find out. This apartment is just really, really nice, and I don't want to mess around and find out and move someplace else and find out that I really hate the neighbors. Yeah. Like, I hate this wall color. I absolutely hate it. But since I didn't know how long I was gonna stay, I didn't bother with painting. Now that I feel like I'd probably stay here another year or 2, I'm painting a wall eventually. I need an accent wall or something. But I am comfortable here, and the landlord is also very receptive if I come to her with a problem, with anything breaking down. Some are like, if your fridge stops working or the washing machine stops working, that's your problem. Fix it. So I do appreciate my landlord. Uh, yeah, so you want to have that. Um, do your best to have that good rapport with your landlord, and they want to make sure that they have a good rapport with you. So yeah, very important. Ah, okay, yeah, okay. I'm putting this up here. I don't care. I'm vain. Gussie says, "How you, Londa? Greetings from Dallas, Texas. Hey, girl. Hey, Texas girl." She said, "I look stunning. I'm going to take that." Boom. Yes, I'm going to take that very much and put it out there in the universe. Hey. So let's see here. What else do we have? Um, okay. Let me just see. Okay. Learning Spanish. It's humbling and it's empowering, but please, I want to really share this. Don't wait. Don't wait until you have perfected your Spanish before you move to another country. Don't wait until whether it's you want to go to Mexico or Spain or Portugal or Vietnam, wherever it is that you want to go to. Please don't wait until you've perfected the language before you move. You'll be waiting forever before you make that move. That is just a reason for you not to do it. Uh, there's no way if I waited until I perfected my Spanish, which I have not, um, I would still be back in the States. Okay. So just know that. Just humble yourself, go with the flow. Um, and lean into it. Lean into being okay with making those mistakes. I'm not saying, yes, please do have a list of maybe 20 phrases that you need to really get down, like hasta luego, or buenos dias, que tenga buen día. These things, learn those words, learn these phrases to start, and you will start picking up some things here. Yeah, I still go into the grocery store, and they see me. They're like, "Yeah, there's the American lady," but they're very nice, and they know that I'm going to say a few keywords, and then sometimes I'll break out with something, and I'll be looking up something on Google Translate, like I want to say this before I even get up to them. I'll know I want to say something, and they see me coming. But be okay with making the mistakes. It's okay. Nobody's gonna shoot you dead for making a mistake in the grammar. It's they appreciate your effort. So you just have to get out of your own head about learning another language. Very much so. It's Right now I've been one of the things Beijing Alpha. She's not here. I think she's here in Spain. That Beijing Alpha for Christine. She told me about was conversation exchange. Really, I really do like that. So I have like two right now I have two partners that I meet with once a week, and we just have a conversation for like an hour. And so we do like maybe I'll say like maybe 20 minutes of me speaking, um uh practicing my Spanish, and then we'll do 20 minutes of them practicing their English, and we'll help each other out. And I have like, and don't get me wrong, when I say I'm practicing, I mean I like go into Google Translate for what I want to talk about, and then I'm talking to them. I'm not just thinking off the top of my head. I have to have something that I want to say or share. Like the one of my language exchange partners. She lives in Madrid, and I was telling her about my whole experience in Spanish in Valencia with the pet sit gone crazy. And yes, I was saying it right because she was laughing her head off as I was telling her the whole story about, the dog taking off up the stairs and the other one that took off out the pet store, and I'm running down the street. Yeah. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure that you go back and check out last week's episode of my pet sitting in Valencia. Yeah, just check that out. You'll enjoy it. Trust me. Mm. Anyways, but yeah, it's just great to be able to have that conversation and just really lean into it and be okay with making the mistakes. Because as you guys can tell, I'm pretty, reactive. I'm pretty expressive, and yeah, my language partners they seem to really enjoy that. And even when I am making mistakes, it's cool. It's fine. Go ahead, do it. You're fine. Um, walking is real here. Walking, depending on most of the cities that you go to, you're not going to be taking your car. Walking is real. Lean into it. Get some good shoes. The likelihood that you're going to be want to walk around in some stilettos or high heel shoes, I used to, man, I used to be mad crazy about walking in my heels for work or whatever. Before I was working remote. But yeah, leaning all the way into my high heels, not so much anymore. Walking is a real thing. And I also want to say this, just like you don't want to wait until you get perfect at your other language before you move to another city or another country, please don't tell yourself, I have to wait until I lose X amount of weight before I can move to a country where I have to walk all the time. I'm calling bullshit. Okay. I'm calling BS on that. That is another way of you talking yourself out of something. You're talking yourself out of it. So you're like, oh, I can't go to another country because I I'm not fit enough yet. You'll get there. You will get fit. You get here. You gonna get well. Let me rephrase that because I don't put some weight on since I've been here, and that's fine by me. I'm okay. But also just lean into it. Please don't use waiting to get fit or waiting to get down to a certain size to move or go travel or whatever because you're like, well, I can't walk that far. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I mean, I understand, and this is not for somebody that clearly has, some definite uh, mobility issues. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. Please do make sure that if you do have some mobility issues, check the city out. Find out what it looks like. Like in Lisbon, I didn't feel like that was really a good spot for somebody that was in a wheelchair. But here in Zaragoza, in Madrid, yeah, you can get around in a wheelchair just fine. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm talking about someone who's just like, "Ah, let me get in shape first before I come and visit you." Okay, you talking yourself out of exploring, and you're talking yourself out of opportunity. But overall, I will say that yes, absolutely. Like I do need to get. I have some great walking shoes. I have a few pair of shoes. I do need to get me some cute wedges and sandals that are walking appropriate, that are comfy enough for me to still, walk a distance. Because I still, I want to have some arch. I don't know what that was. Yeah, I want to have some arch though. I want the sexy walk still. I mean, I have my cute walk in my tennis shoes, but sometimes you want to step out and just stretch your stuff. But yeah, I no longer do that in like, minimum 3-inch heels, no. But I do need to get some cute wedges that kind of show off and give me that strutability. Let's see what else. Okay, so healthcare here in Spain is really, really good. There are some nuances. Like I know, who was that? Rashida was talking about how accessible, like she doesn't even have health insurance in Mexico. She's like, I just pay out of pocket and it's really easy. Um, it's not like that here. You need your insurance. Is it less expensive than in the US? Absolutely, absolutely. But you still need health insurance. But again, if you don't know, and I've shared this, I've been very transparent. My premium health insurance that I have here, this is not travel insurance. This is health insurance here in this country is I think I paid 1,200 euro, which comes out to I think like 1,400 a year, and that's no copays, no deductibles. I can go. The insurance that I use. I can go on the site and find a doctor or use other ways to find doctors in network. The problem that I have is, well, that I've been experiencing because I have to go and see a couple of specialists about some things, and finding a doctor that actually speaks English is hard to do. I have been able to find doctors that speak English. I actually had to go to Madrid for a gynecologist that I felt comfortable that spoke English. And again, I've said this before. I don't want them to just speak English. I want them to have I want to know that they care. I need to find somebody that speaks English and also cares about the patient. And so I was able to find somebody in Madrid. Now I have found a GP, a general practitioner here in Zaragoza that speaks English, and she's wonderful. But there were some specialists that I needed to find, and I didn't feel like going to Madrid to find an English speaking specialist. So I did have to finally acquiesce, and my daughter has gone with me to two appointments because she speaks Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish well enough to have a detailed conversation. So I'm thankful that I do have my daughter as a resource. I've also had some women within the communities, like I belong to like certain expat communities here in Zaragoza, and I've had some women when I've tried to find a doctor that have actually said, if you need me to come with you, I'd be happy to come and help and translate for you. So that's really amazing. I have not taken them up on that, but it's just really, really great that you've had that. I have started. I have a community that I know if I needed the help, um, they would they could help me or they'd be willing to help me. But that's good. There is sometimes a long wait for certain doctors. I think like one doctor, I have an appointment and I had to wait, I think about a month to get in. I think that's just the nature of the beast. If there's some urgent needs, they do have like the urgent care, the clinics that you can go to. But to see just a regular, to see a doctor for a specialist for anything, I, I I cannot just call or email. They don't seem to respond to emails, and I can't just call because I don't speak Spanish. So I have learned that being in Zaragoza, I will actually go up to the doctor's office that I want to go see and just go in person to schedule an appointment. Yo necesito cita. Yeah, I need an appointment. So that's what I've learned to do, and being that I'm used to walking in Zaragoza is I mean, I think one time I had to walk 30 minutes to get to a facility so I could just make an appointment. I did it. It was my morning walk. It was great. It was easy. You just do what you have to do. Yeah. Yeah. And they don't ask for, when you're setting the appointments, they don't ask for emails or phone numbers or anything. They're just like, here you go. Some do. I take that back. Some do. But yeah, they're like, here you go. Here's your appointment. See you back. It's like, don't you need something to confirm? They're like, nope, here you go. Just make sure you're here. Okay, bring your insurance card, bring your referral. So yeah, it's different. Oh, also I do want to let you know, in case you didn't know, public health insurance everything is connected. So like if you go to one public health insurance, like one hospital or another and stuff, the information is connected. But if you have private health insurance, that information is not connected. So if you go see one doctor about one thing and like the blood results, I have to go back and pick up my results and then take them to the doctor, because there's been times where they're like, oh, we'll send it to your doctor, and then I have the follow-up appointment with my doctor, and she's like, do you have your results? And I'm like, they were supposed to send it to you. No, they don't. No. So I have a folder with all of my any tests that I've had done, all of that. So whenever I have an appointment, I just bring the folder, and I've told my daughter, this is, this is my catch-all for anything medically related. So yeah, I have that. So just FYI. I hope this information is helping you guys or giving some insight. Wow. Let's see. Oh wait, where'd she go? Hi, manager was asking, how far is Madrid from Zaragoza? Zaragoza is halfway in between Madrid and Barcelona. So by train, it's usually an hour and 20 minutes to from Zaragoza to Spain, and think I think it's the same by train to Barcelona also. I haven't been to Barcelona in a while. But yeah, I think it's like about the same, maybe an hour and a half to Barcelona. Right now, they are doing some work on the railroad. So like there's a train that was supposed to go to Valencia, but I ended up taking the bus when I was in Valencia a few weeks ago, which the bus was fine. It was like 4 hours. Um, and I think it was going to be 4 hours on the train anyway. So yeah, but yeah, it's pretty easy. I'm excited about going to France in a couple of months. I'm not going to take the plane. I'm going to take a train. It's like a 7 hours to get to Paris. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to take a train and travel around Paris. I mean, travel around France. Get out of here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. I just, just it says, lifting weights and practicing Spanish. I saw somebody really cool that came on. Here she is. Hey, girl. I don't know if she's still here, but hey, girl. Hey, Kyoka. Happy birthday. Yes. And so Kyoka, the awkward black nomad. Yes. She's another Texas girl. And I'm so glad that you were able to pop in and say hello. I don't know if you're still in here and stuff, but thank you for popping in and saying hello. You're awesome. And I hope that your birthday is just lots of fun. Ah. Okay. Nah. Uh, I I'm not trying to bust anybody's bubble. She says, Amen. You will lose faster abroad because our food is trash and you will be more active while away. Okay, so I love walking. I love not having a car payment or car insurance. I totally embrace that. And also, I have definitely put some extras on since I have moved to Spain. Um, and I think I leaned a little bit too much into because the food is not harshly processed as it is in the States. And I was like, girl, you're walking everywhere. You can eat whatever. That is not necessarily true for someone that is of a certain age and postmenopausal. And I'm learning that. Um, do I still see myself as beautiful? Absolutely, and stuff. Am I more fluffy now and stuff? Absolutely. So just know that wherever you go in the world, you cannot outwalk uh, unhealthy or challenging food decisions. So yeah, but if you're very aware of how what your dietary needs are and not overindulging all the time, now I'm at a point sometimes I can just look at food and it's like, oh, here's another pound. Yeah, it just is what it is. But Yeah, I was not one of those that came over here and it's like, drop 15 pounds from walking around. Nope. Nah. But I still feel healthy. I mean, my blood pressure is great. Yeah, I'm doing better. And, again, I enjoy, like I can walk 5 miles easily. Running, no. 5 miles walk, it's so nice and easy just to walk. You don't even really think about it. Ah, my goodness. Let's see here. Trying to see. Oh, okay. One of the things that just really gets me, ugh, um, the fashion in Spain, at least I know for this in Spain, for curvy chicks like me, it is not giving. It is not no. Nope, 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 nope. I don't like it. I feel like they're still missing the mark on that. I can still get some clothes. I can still go online and get some things, but even when I go online, I order from things from the state and then have them brought over or shipped over here. Unless like if somebody I know is coming over, I'll be like, hey, so I'm sending this over to you to bring over to me, and I brought found some clothes that way. I have found some items here. Don't get me wrong, but overall, it's just not giving. Like I need my semi diva attire and like if I see something really cute on some random site or whatever, it's like, oh, I love that. That will look good on me. It's it's very hard to find what I need here. And I wish this is one of the times where I wish I knew how to sew and like really create my own thing, or how people like go to secondhand uh, uh or resale shops, and then they just like totally like make over and do something really awesome with the resale clothes or whatever. I wish I knew how to sew. I really want to take a sewing class. So just from that little knowledge, I feel like I'll be able to create some really cool things. But I love to do like the clothing hacks and just recreating and repurposing repurposing clothes. So yeah, just know that that's a challenge. Now, if you are like my daughter here is like slim. She's pregnant now. She's due next month, but she's super slim. And yeah, they have gorgeous clothes. For her size. Yeah, but not for all of this. It just is challenging sometimes. I mean, I make it work. Don't get me wrong. I I brought some nice pieces over, and I have also found, I found some nice pieces here and stuff, but it's just more challenging than in the U.S. Um, but when I got to get ready and stuff, I make it work. Okay, I turn some heads still. Yes, ah, yes, I really do. I want to. I really want to learn to sew. Yeah, that's that's something that I've always wanted to do. I think like years ago, I was like trying to teach myself. I bought a sewing machine and I was like, I'm going to learn stuff. And I wasn't even taking any classes. I think I was like at the time, probably like this was probably like 20 years ago, where I was just like when YouTube was still young and there was like something on there where that would show you how. And I think I tried it for some short time until I maybe stabbed myself with a needle. And then I was like, I think I'm done. It's not for me. And I think I wanted to go to like Michael's used to have the classes, the sewing classes or whatever, and I never did. So that's one of my, let's call it a bucket list or whatever. But yeah, that's something that I've always wanted to do. Let's see, I have just a few more, but I think that they're going to be some good information. And again, if you have questions, let me see. Does anybody have questions? I want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody because I will feel bad. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do over there. I meant to do it on here. Let's see. Nope. I'm sorry if you did have a question. I saw somebody had a question. I think I answered it, but I feel like I may have missed something. So apologies. One thing, I've probably said this on other vlogs, but I'm going to say it again. If you are moving and you are looking, whether it's short term or long term, make sure that you create your must have list, because there are some things that just don't automatically come in apartments or flats or whatever dwellings or your Airbnbs or whatever it is. So make sure that you create a list of what your expectations and needs are. Okay. Not saying that you're going to be able to have all of them, but at least have a list of what your needs are. For example, before I had posted within the group that one of the groups that I belong to, that I was looking for an apartment before I even left the United States, I created a list and I said, okay, here's what you got to have. Like I knew I had to have AC. There was no, like, oh, we'll have like a little fan in the room. Nope, got to have AC. Got to. Now, here in Spain, they have the mini splitters. They don't have, some places have like central AC, but for the most part, it's the mini splitters, which is great because you can control that. Sometimes when you have like the central AC or central heat, it is they have a time of year when the building managers will actually turn it on where you'll have access. Okay. So I didn't want just AC in the living room. I was like, I got to have it in the room. So and then so when I saw this place, it's like she's like, I have AC in the living room and the two bedrooms. Okay. I knew that I needed to have something that was very close and walkable to the tram line. Yes, they have a great, Spain and most European countries have great transportation and they have buses and everything. I just kind of like the fact that here in Zaragoza, there's a tram line that goes all the way through Zaragoza. And if I need to catch the bus, I can do it. But I just wanted to be on a tram line that just was going to be very easily accessible. I have to walk like maybe 6 minutes to get to the tram line. So just make your list of the things that you feel like you have to have, and say that you have a list of 10 things that you're like, I have to have this, this, and this. I don't know. You have to have a dishwasher. I thought I needed a dishwasher. This place does not have a dishwasher. It's okay. It's fine. But have a list of what you believe that are your must-haves. And then from there, if you have a list of say 10, and maybe there's only 6 of them, if that's doable for you, work it out. But have the list first. One of the things that I will say on your list, find out about the maintenance, what the maintenance looks like. Don't mess around and find out after the fact, after you moved into said dwelling, that you're like, oh, hey, like this window doesn't open. And they're like, too bad. Okay. So, yes, find out what the maintenance, and that's actually overall, no matter where you're living, if you're living in the US or abroad, but make sure that you get that information. Um, so that you have a very clear idea of what the expectation is. Because I think, who was that? I think Stephanie Perry was saying yesterday in her live, like in some parts of Costa Rica, like they don't even have counters. They don't even have counters. You have to put your own counters in. You have to put your own oven in, your own fridge in. Yeah, yeah, she was saying there's one place that had a listing. It's like you have to get your own countertops. Like you don't even have a kitchen. You have to install your own kitchen. These are things that are important that you want to find out and not be surprised. I'm sorry. Okay, so somebody was asking me, what is the what is ETIAS? I don't even know what that is. So yeah, help me out. I don't. It might be something very simple, but I don't know what that is. So if you tell me what it is, and if I have the insight, I will share with you. I Yeah, let me know what that is, and then we can go from there. Okay, so let's see here. I said good shoes, healthcare, clothes. Um, so hey, in Zar in Zaragoza, or actually any European country, but it's like in Spain, their festivals, their holidays, they are very, very real. Kids are out of school. It seems like at least once a month they are out of school for something. And like people are like off work for something. It just seems like it's very important. And when people are like off work, like my son-in-law, he works for a company, and yeah, the holidays are very honored. If there's like festivals, they might actually shut the city down. What is the one that's in? They have Semana Santa. That's in March, April. Everything shuts down for that. Then in October, they have the big festival. The city shuts down for that so people can go and party. Literally, they have carnival, they have all kinds of events in October, and everything is like shut down, like people are not going to work. Okay. So understand that when this is happening, there's no mail, the grocery stores are closed. Um, the pharmacies are closed, everything is closed. So just know that they value the tradition, the family time more than the almighty dollar. Okay. So, like, I know, like on Sundays, grocery stores are closed. There's one grocery store that's actually open on Sundays. That's like right down the street from me. But everything else is closed. The malls are closed on Sundays. The mall is closed on Sundays. I still find that just absolutely crazy. So yeah, so definitely for holidays, everything is definitely shut down. It just is what it is. Now, if you're in Madrid, like the restaurants, like there's restaurants that are still open, and some of those are closed down too, depending on the holiday. But for the most part, like in Madrid, a lot of stuff stays open. But even like the grocery stores in Madrid, like Mercadona, it's closed on Mercadona is like the grocery store. There's others, but they're closed on Sundays, and they're closed on the holidays, period. There's no like, "Oh, we're gonna be open," like Kroger's or HEB or whatever. They're like, "Oh, we're just gonna be open for a few hours." Nope, shut down. You better go before. You better go the day before, a few days um, before the holiday, because you could you could starve on this plan. You're fine. But yeah, some restaurants are closed down for the most part. You would be hard pressed to find a restaurant that's open. There's more now that are open during some holidays and like on Sundays. But like when I first started coming here back in 2018, yeah, everything was definitely shut down. Yeah, the siesta was real. They were like, nope, we're taking our break now and stuff. And yeah, that still very much happens. Restaurants will open up at say 1, they'll close at like 4, and then they'll open back up again like maybe 7 or 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's real. Let's see. Uh, fresh. Do, 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 do. Yeah, and with that, you become a creature of rhythm and not routine. I don't know why it says it like that, but definitely being here has taught me. I have never been able to fully lean into the late dinners. I can't. I cannot eat at 8 o'clock at night, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock is considered early for eating dinner. I cannot get into that. I've gone out a few times, and been like, I'm wilding out. I'm actually going to eat late. Yeah. I've actually like, because I belong to internations, and I actually had scheduled like once a month we'd get together for dinner, and once a month we get together for lunch. On Saturdays we do lunch, and on like a Thursday once a month we do dinner. And I was like, hey, 7:30. And they're like, okay. And people will come, but they were like, this is really, really early for us. I'm like, sorry. I don't want to eat at 9 o'clock at night. But yeah, you just have to, yeah, there's just that whole thing. I don't usually eat breakfast, so I'm usually eating like I drink some coffee, and then maybe like I'll probably eat like about maybe no earlier than noon, maybe 1 o'clock. Um, but and which that's about the time that the restaurants open for lunch is like maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock they open for lunch. Um, yeah, it's very different. But the thing is also you can lean into that. and enjoy. And also, there's no hard and fast rules. It's like no, there's no police is going to come and get you if they see you eating at a different time. The restaurants are like, nope, this is, some restaurants are like, no, we are closed, or we're only serving drinks until 8 o'clock. So after between 4 and 8, they're like, yeah, we're not serving food. It's just drinks. That's it. So, but there's no hard and fast rule. Grocery stores are open. If there's not a holiday, so you can always go and cook at home. But yeah, just it's just a different way. In Spain, they just tend to eat later, and so for them, eating dinner at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night is no big deal. I can't. I feel off. I feel like too full. But yeah, let's see. I have just a few more. Oh, okay, okay. So I saw somebody post in one of the it's one of the American like a American group for people living in Spain. So American foreigners in Spain, okay? And somebody had posted and asked the question, what is the equivalent to a Walmart or Target here in Spain? And the thing was, people are just so freaking mean, just horrible. It was a simple question in a group for Americans, American foreigners in Spain. Anyways, they posted this question, but they posted it anonymously because they were like, I already know y'all gonna try to come after me. I'm like, why? Everybody has the right to post anonymously, but the fact that this person knew, okay, like, I don't need them coming at me. And because somebody actually had posted, it's like, why? Their response was, why are you asking about Target or Walmart when you're living here in Spain? Which that if you're an American, you know said stores. You know these stores exist. Okay. Anyways, I went on there and I just said the closest equivalent to a Walmart or Target is Carrefour. The store is much better, but it is. You have like all your sundry items, you get your basic clothing, underwear, all that stuff. You have household items, and then like on the bottom floor, they have like the big grocery store. Anything that you need. It's just like that, but it's just nicer. Um, anyways, they came for me. They were like, "That's not Carrefour is a French store," and I'm like, "It's a freaking store. You get everything that you need in your household." That's what the person was asking. They didn't. People will complain about the stupidest things, but with that said, um, the equivalent to a Walmart or a Target is Carrefour, and you will get everything that you need. And also, just FYI, they have Costco's here. They have Costco's. I haven't seen a Sam's, but I've definitely seen Costco's. They just built a Costco here in Zaragoza like almost a year ago, and it has everything. I think it has everything for Spain. So I went there because I was excited. I was like, I'm gonna find all the American things at the Costco. No, they have big box stuff here that's specific to Spain. They have some things that are like the American, whatever, something that an American would like. But overall, it would be it's big box store for stuff like if you want your freezer full of octopus. Okay, okay. But the membership is a lot less. I think the membership is like 35 € a year. Yeah. So I don't know if I can't remember if they have the hot dogs and pizza that are the same as the ones that they have in the US, but yeah, I don't know. I would like to find that out. I was watching a Epicurious thing that did a comparison of hot dogs, and I really do miss beef hot dogs so bad. They have some versions of some stuff, but I just want a good beef hot dog, and yeah, can't find one. Anyways, anywho, let's see. Oh, okay. Very important. I've said this many times before, but making friends takes time. But your community is out there. The community is here. The community is out there. Somebody had posted one time, this was some time ago, that said, how do I find my new best friend in another country? Why is your goal to find a new best friend? There's a difference. Because a genuine best friend, you don't go seeking that out. That just kind of happens over the natural course of time. Maybe you guys had some life altering situations that happen, and then you're like, yeah, that's my person. But to go and seek out a best friend is, I feel like, it's not the way you need to be going. But community is there, and community exists wherever you go. To seek that out, um, and get insight, before you even make the move. As I've stated before, I've joined different communities. There's different Black in communities all around the pockets of Spain. I just went to, when I was in Valencia a couple of weeks ago, I met up with this beautiful group of Black women. We met up for lunch and had drinks and had great conversations, like 10 of us. It was just so beautiful and wonderful. But I also belong to like an exclusive, like an all women's group, period. Girls on International, they have chapters all over. I belong to Internations. That's just like the foreigners from all over the world that are like, they have chapters all over. So finding your community, if you want to find the book club, the local book club, there's Meetup, that site. So finding community for the things that interest you, or people in similar situations as you, is gold, is gold. To help you they have questions. You're not reinventing the wheel, so they have questions that have been asked before, that if you go into the Facebook group or the WhatsApp or whatever and find and look and see, like, have those questions already been posed before? If you have questions, you can ask within those communities and get insight. Yeah. And yes, there's some communities that, people just looking to start an argument. But for the most part, the communities that I have been able to find, that I've really found some great, people in, those groups, the admins, they're not putting up with that BS. They're not. So yeah, some groups, like the public groups, I tend not to join, because I know that a lot of them are just, there's a lot of people that are just like trying to stir up something, and they haven't even walked out their front door, just sitting in front of the computer just all the time, just complaining about something. But there are some great communities out there, and I truly encourage you to seek those out. Join the groups now. Start making those genuine connections now. Very, very important. Let's see. And I think that's it. Oh my God. I, that's it. My goal was supposed to be that I was just supposed to go an hour. We're still not there yet. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, those are my main items, points, the things that I've learned, that I feel like is important in the past year, things that I have just become more aware of, and leaned into. Just wanted to share the knowledge, share the insight, and give back. Yeah, just want to give back. And I hope this has been really, really helpful. And let's see. Ah, did she say with that? I'm still want to know what ET. Okay, I gotta look this up because it's gonna bother me. Uh, oh, okay. So what is this? That is European Travel Information Authorization, is a new travel requirement for non-EU citizens who are currently visa exempt when traveling. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know what that process looks like, and I guess I do need to find that out. Yeah, I will look into that, and also, you can too. Um, yeah, I will get some information, because I mean, I have a visa. I have a 5-year visa, but yeah, I would like to make sure that when I speak on it, I would like to be well versed, because I don't want to, like, give anything that's wrong. And also, I'll check with my attorney, see if he has better insight about this. Wait a minute. Just it's a Costco, you don't say. Keep my membership then. Your membership, okay, so just FYI, your membership in the US for Costco does not, wait a minute. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'm sorry. I was about to say something that's not true. Your membership for the Costco is worldwide. The reason, because I canceled, because I had a membership for the Costco in the US, but again, I let it go just because it was I think it was like 70 something dollars, and the membership here is 35 and stuff like that. trying to think. I think that the membership, if you have a US membership, it still works here. I can't remember. I know in Mexico it does. I know the Costco, your Costco, whatever in Mexico, if you have a US membership, the Costco, at least because I went to the one in Puerto Vallarta and I was able to use that no problem. Yeah. Anyways. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you guys for joining me. And I will be having guests on soon. I don't know right now. I'm just kind of leaning into, I think I got stuff to say. So I'm just kind of leaning into just talking right now and just going with the flow. But yes, I really do appreciate you guys. And I hope that this was just some really helpful, great information. And please go to your destiny, locate your cozy. Do what makes you happy. As long as you're not doing anything illegal, do what makes you happy. Bring joy into your life and shine. Okay. All right. So yeah, I shall be back. You know what? Again, I said that I was not digging this midnight because it's 1:30 in the morning here now. And I was like, oh no, you got to stop doing this live on Sundays at midnight. But I actually like it. And I took a nice nap today, so I'm kind of wired. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate everything. Oh, okay. I appreciate everything, and y'all take care. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.